Hey, welcome to this episode of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And today is Saturday, Spiritual Freedom Frequency Saturday. I don't know. We're talking about soul guidance and ease, grace, and flow, right? And so today's a big one. You know, when you have a big doozy, like there's a lot going on. So, I go live every single day for this YouTube podcast and journal every single day and visualize every single day. And I know, and one of the intentions that I set, so I journal with you, visualize with you, set my intentions, live my life with you, live your life with you. And I'm here to hold space, but I'm here to do this for me first. So today, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, if you're watching on the replay, I don't have any makeup on, which I don't think you can tell unless, like, when I watch on the replay, it looks really bad. But I don't have makeup on today. It's kind of the day where I'm holding up my dressing gown. The dressing gown kind of has been out all day. And it's one of those days, but it's not like, you know, I've had a few tears today. But it's not like one of those days where you're so down in the dumps, but it's definitely a dip for me today. And I want to just put that into context, meaning that, you know, as we go through this journey called life, 365 days of the year, there's going to be birthdays, anniversaries, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. And not that I was having resistance to doing this, but I was like, I just didn't feel like doing this early in the morning. It's 8:30 p.m. UK time on a Saturday evening. This is what I'm doing this Saturday. I'm not out partying this week. But I wanted to say, hey, welcome. I wanted to say that, you know, today's the day when I want to honor my big brother, one of my big brothers. I'm the youngest of 7. And so it's 19 years since my big brother passed. And he was almost 5 years older than me. And so Spiritual Freedom Saturday and the guidance, right, that we get, I felt really guided over this last 19 years. But at the same time, when you're like, stop, hey, welcome, when you stop and you realize, wow, you know, it's been years and years and years since somebody passed, since you've touched them, since you've spoken to them, since you've, and being the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, let me know where you're watching from if you're new to me. Being the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, I'm like all about launching, leading, and leaving my soul legacy and doing it with ease, grace, and flow. And that's why I talk about guidance and spirituality on Saturdays. And my big brother was someone who was amazing. You know, not all of the time, but he was amazing. But we used to share. He used to buy Spirit and Destiny. I think he was kind of one of the first people that introduced like spirituality to me. From the magazines and different stuff, and we'd talk about, you know, different things, not really super deep, because back then, you know, I wasn't introduced to The Secret and the Law of Attraction and all those things. But whether you believe it or not, I don't know whether you do, but I have had readings and stuff, and the last one, him coming through, and I just think, wow, you know, he helped me to live my life more intentionally over this last 19 years, and I miss him really deeply. You know, as a big brother, everybody just loved him as a part of the glue of the family. So it marks the anniversary, and it's 19 years, and it's just incredible what has happened over the last, so for you, so, you know, for the last 20 years, what has gone on for you? Have you been living intentionally? Have you been following your soul guidance? Have you been out of balance? How many dark nights of the soul have you had? How many spiritual awakenings? How much shifting in your soul and that perspective have you had over the last decade or 2 decades? So my daughter came over last night, and we had like some girly time and movie time and stuff. And she remembers, she's 20, and she remembers, she's 21 in January, and she remembers the last time that she saw my big brother. She and I'm like, wow. I knew that she remembered, but still she does. She remembers, she describes it. And you know, that means the world to me. So, you know, coming on here and sharing daily, doing my own journaling and doing my own process and, you know, visualizing what kind of life that I want to have and visualizing the relationships that I want to experience and visualizing like that guidance and that flow and the universe guiding me. And I'm just like, he didn't get to be 50, right? He didn't get to be 35 or 36. You know, and it's like, over the years, I've started to live my life that way of, what if my time was up, you know, from my 40th year, I'm 50 now, from my 40th year, so 10 years ago, my mum's mum lived to 100, she lived to 101, but she was 100. And I remember going out to the Caribbean, and I've told this story before, but you may or may not have heard it. And she was on the TV, she featured on the TV, they were talking to her, and she was dancing on the dance floor. Like, she had rum and all the things. I'm like, that's going to be me. That's the intention that I set. And then I turned 40, that was where it says midlife. And then when I came back from the Caribbean, I was like, well, what if I have 60 years in me yet? What would I do? We don't, not guaranteed that, right? And then my granddaughter was born like 4 weeks after that. And then 10 days after, my dad passed. So I was like, what if, you know, I had my life all over again? Or what if, like, that was it, that was my time, you know? So I've really set some intentions over this last decade. And I have to say, 8 years that my son's passed, I haven't lived into all of the things that I want to experience. And part of where I'm at right now as a spiritual digital nomad, I was talking to my niece earlier, and I said, you know, this is what I want to do. This is my dream. This is something that I really want to go after. And I am pursuing it, and I am taking action on it, and I am going for it. But it doesn't always feel amazing. It doesn't always, it doesn't always, everything doesn't always manifest like yesterday, you know? And so I'm just acknowledging where I'm at. I've had conversations today, which I'm going to share the card that I pulled, and the conversations were based on that. It was about boundaries, and it was about just being hostile and angry and all the things, and to each other, and not really being kind always. And I'm just like with extended family members and stuff, and I'm just like, I know who I want to be, and I know how I want to be. And I can honestly say today, I have embraced a different level of my spirituality, in a sense of peace. Like I said, I did have some tears today. I'm letting go of things, some things, and letting in and allowing other things. And it's like, wow. So when I look back, part of this podcast is to look back. I'm trying not to cry. I look back and over the last week, like from this Saturday to the Saturday, and see how in flow that we've been, right? And I'm really pleased to say, just the guidance has just been phenomenal. I was doing some recording yesterday, and I had the most productive day ever. And I was using Chat GTP, or whatever it's called, I don't know, the AI stuff. And I was just getting download and download. I'm like, oh my God, I'm all into legacy building, and not just list building. And part of this whole decade, but from starting out in business in 2008, 2009, part of that was not fitting into the mold of go out there and build a list. I remember when my house was going to be repossessed, and I was like, I'm just starting this coaching business. And the mortgage company saying, do you have a database? I'm like, no, I still don't have a database. So if I'd have just focused on building a database and a list, I'd have, hit million and billion, whatever. And I just didn't feel in alignment with it. I don't feel in integrity with it, in alignment with my values. And I won't do things that are not in alignment with my values. And I found a way yesterday to bring this whole pulling in and drawing in and attracting my soul tribe in a way of communicating via email, in a way that just feels absolutely amazing. And the chat GTP is going to help me write all of those emails. And I'm glad that I'm where I am, because I've just been guided to actually, in my eye line and my sight of view, is to help assist in shifting the industry from the fake and the whatever that is. The money's in the list. When the money's in transformation, the world really needs us to really step up and to really be beacons of light. I don't look to the darkness. I don't look to try and be all up in that. But when you experience and people project things on you, or push and pull you, or just not be kind, it's like, wow. And I'm so sensitive. And an empath, I'm so sensitive. And I'm just like, life is way too short to choose that. Just choosing love. And what's on my vision board is Matt Cahn's Whatever Arises. Love that. So that will be my book for Emotional Freedom Wednesday. So I'm rambling because I wanted to start this off with just releasing what was being here on my mind, and the energy, and we for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, we rate our vibrational frequency, right, every single day, between a 1 and 11. So 1 is like 11 is like soul guidance. And you know what, I was like, what do I rate today? And I couldn't put anything but an 11. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't put anything but an 11. I'm like, I've been asking for guidance. I've been asking for what my next steps are for certain things, mostly relationships, and just people coming to me in just the most magical ways. And and the right opportunities coming to me in the most magical ways. It's just been incredible. And I feel like I just am being held. Thank you. I'm being held. And I'm trusting. And it feels incredible. And I'm so happy that I have created this space. I've been guided to create this space for myself, for you. I'm streaming this out at the Soul Legacy TV YouTube channel, and I will repurpose it into a podcast, and I'm streaming it out for students in the Soul Legacy Academy, and I'm streaming it out on the socials, so that when you have that day and it's an anniversary, it's a potentially really challenging day, and you want to be with loved ones, or you want to be by yourself, or you just want to ignore it, or you want to embrace whatever it is. It's so important to just hold space for yourself and just love on you. I'm understanding that there isn't anyone that can understand you better than you. Like, you have to go within, and that connection in that source and that guidance is always there. It's always there. It's always flowing through. I didn't know not even a third of quarter of what I know now. And I know that, I've got so much to learn in doing this, but I didn't feel like putting on makeup. I'm like, I'm going to put my dressing gown back on. I would have come on like it with my dressing gown on, but it's green and it's a purple day today. So what I want to do on this day is have you rate your frequency. The next segment for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast and tuning into the vibration of your spiritual freedom is thinking about what is on your vision board. For me, like the Seven Freedoms Frequency, I say this every week, like the emotional piece. Woo, the emotional piece is the biggest piece to spirituality. Not the thoughts, because we think like hundreds, we think thousands, tens of thousands of thoughts every day. It's the emotional piece. And I'll read something from the book that I was reading today. I read a little bit from a book. I love this book. And I ended up having a nap. I don't know if you'll know Abraham Hicks, right? I was like, the best thing for me to do today is have a nap. And that is what I did. I went and I had a nap. I was going to read, so I'm going to go up and read a little bit more. It's called Make It Happen, Manifest the Life of Your Dreams by Jordan Levin. And spiritual freedom, for me, you know, tuning into that vibration and our vision is just magical. Like our vision board and the feeling is not just the images and the pictures, like I will create this, how we feel about it. It's how we feel about it. And if we're pushed and pulled and swayed. So for the Seven Freedoms Frequency, I've created a vision board around all of these areas for in living a more intentional life and setting intentions. And going through your spirituality and your spiritual awakening and redefining and rejigging your life into something that you are birthing, because we're powerful manifestors, being really super clear in the vibration that you're going to need to vibrate at in order for that to manifest. And so we talk about contribution freedom on a Monday, health freedom on a Tuesday, emotional freedom on Wednesday, environmental freedom on Thursday, relationship freedom on Friday, spiritual freedom on Saturday, which is today, and financial freedom on Sunday. Excuse me. And when we put all those areas together on a vision board, like separate days, and then put them on their own separate vision board, but look at life and then infuse spirituality into every single day and into every single area, which is your emotions, is how you feel about it and what you're going to do to actually meet the universe in the middle, which is our next segment is, you know, what soul guided action steps, 1 to 3 action steps are you going to do to bring that experience into manifestation? And I don't mean forcing it, I mean meeting the universe in the middle, setting that energy forth. That's the most spiritual thing that you can do, by not looking at the world through the eyes of the human lens, by looking at they say, oh, the eyes are the window to the soul. So why do people say that? Like your eyes are the window to your soul. So therefore, you look at the world through the lens of your soul, or you have the illusion and look at the world through the eyes of the human lens. And there's a difference of what you will see and what you will create. That's big. That's big. For me, that's spiritual freedom. And when you're looking at the world through the eyes of your soul, through the lens of your soul, you can only see love. You can only feel love. Whether that's love for you or love for others, just we get off track sometimes, and we not even off track, we just experience the contrast sometimes. But coming back to that, whatever arises, love that. So I will be listening to that next week. Whatever arises, love that. I love Matt Kahn's work. Big, 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 big. So the vision board, I invite you to do the vision board challenge. I will leave the link in the show notes and the description for you. Because when you break down what you actually want to experience in life, and you really truly get clear in the vibration, it cannot not manifest. It cannot not manifest. And as spiritual entrepreneurs and as light workers, I know that we're powerful manifestors, but sometimes we just get caught up in, we just get caught up in looking at the world through the human lens rather than the lens of the soul. And for me, checking in every single Saturday, journaling with you, visualizing with you, has me remember. So I'm honoring my brother today and his soul, you know. We know we don't actually die, but the physical does. And it doesn't mean that we don't miss our loved ones, but when we understand or have a knowing of this is bigger than us, I would say it's easier to bear. It's easier to bear. So 19 years is a long time. So if I was to do my vision board every single year for the next 19 years, it's like, okay, well, what am I going to experience before my time is up on this earthly plane? You know, what are you going to experience before your time is up on this earthly plane? That's why I launched the Soul Legacy Academy. So the next segment for the Seven Visions Frequency podcast is, how do you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day, bringing the lens of your soul, looking at the world through the lens of your soul? Do you launch your day with ease? Does it feel like grace? Do you give yourself grace? And does it feel like flow? And if not, what can you do for it to feel? So today, literally, I was like, okay, dressing gown. I've had, you know, my daughter was here and we'd had quality time and stuff, and woke up in the morning and, you know, had breakfast together, and that was really nice. And, you know, she's just my absolute world. You know, but today hasn't been easy. It hasn't been an easy day. It's not been super dramatic. I've just like really reflected and again just had tears. You know, that those tears, that grief is massive. I want to actually share with you the card that I pulled today, because I usually leave this to the end, and I want to share this with you. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It's a card from Keepers of the Light. It's called the Miriam Sacred Vision, and I literally kept shuffling. I'm like, give me what I need. And this is huge. This is the day that I've had reflected in this card. It says, choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Now, today I had a conversation with a family member who I was reaching out and just saying, you know, I'm here, and, you know, I know there's a lot been going on and blah, blah, blah. And I had a raised voice on the phone towards me. I'm like, wow, that's not where I'm at, blah, blah, blah. And I explained. And then I had another conversation with, that crosses my boundaries. And I'm just like, wow, you know, and I was able to really sit back in it and see my part in the conversations. And I'm just like, that choose to forgive. And I just have come from a calmer space. I don't like it, but I've come from a calmer space, and I'm really pleased with the energy and the understanding that I've got. So I want to read this to you from the Keepers of the Light, the book. Let me know if you are familiar with the Keepers of the Light Oracle card deck, or you just use something else. So this is probably for, hopefully it resonates with you. Do share it out. It might resonate with someone that you know. So the Miriam, which means the beloved, are twin flame angels who come as one. They are mirror images of each other. They are the angels who appeared to Mary Magdalene in the tomb of Jesus after his passing. These angels spoke directly to Mary and helped her to move beyond grief, so that she was able to commune with Jesus once more. They can help us move beyond the cloud of grief. So that's what I was experiencing today. To they heal grievances of all kind, including ones that have been created by religion, or the idea that God does not love or accept us because of the mistake we once made, whatever God means to you. Miriam helps us remember that we don't need to ask God for forgiveness, because he never condemned us in the first place. So when you're beating yourself up, like, extended message, there's a real opportunity for you to move beyond grief or grievance at this time. And that's exactly what that showed me today. And I just kept calm and just chose to not even project that love, but just to be loving to me and to be loving and kind. But it's not easy. And especially when you feel raw yourself, it's not easy. And I'm not trying to disclose any conversations, but that's what's happened for me today. And I just want to honor that. And I just want to speak it out, because if I'm rubbing my throat, because if we don't speak it out and we don't share it, you know, when we have those moments, we internalize it and it just gets caught up. The Miriam are here swirling their holy light all around you so that you can regain a sense of union with spirit. Absolutely. You are loved beyond words. You are. Choose to see the light of God in everyone and everything, and to be love without boundaries. I just got to love you too from my daughter. There you go. I sent her this. Honor others and honor yourself with your sacred vision. You are here in a space of deep healing and forgiveness. Love that. Choosing to see the light of the world will help you grow even more. So that's that, isn't it? How beautiful is that? So our vision, our vibration, the actions that we can take to be in alignment, our next steps, and visualizing how we want to launch our day, lead our day, and leave our day with ease, grace, and flow. So I'm gonna express gratitude. I'm gonna do this quite quickly today. Then I'm gonna read the book, and then I'm gonna do the 50K in 50 days challenge. Excuse me, and then I'm going to be done, because it's going to be quite a quick episode I wanted to do, really. So the way that I do gratitude, again, my daughter gave me this when she was little, a stone, gratitude stone. It's a love heart that I'm holding up if you're listening to this. And I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate, whether it's something from the past, something from the present, and something from the predicted future. So we bring in the 7 freedoms frequency to raise our vibration in every single area of our lives now, right? So although my vibration is not as elevated and as high, like high vibe, it's still in the place where I feel at peace, even when. And so one of my guests on the Spiritual Awakening Annual UJ Summit, I believe it was Nicole, she said that when you feel a sense of joy, you can feel like sadness but still feel joy, and feel whatever and still feel joy. That's how I feel, like that peace is peace. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate contribution. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the contribution. When I talk about it, I talk about your light work and your lifestyle. I talk about this in my book. It's not just going out there and shining a light in the world, it's actually in our lifestyle as well. So I would say I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the contribution that I was able to make to my great nieces and nephews, nieces and nephews actually, in the fostering process, because that was big. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health, because I feel really healthy. I feel really amazing. This last 6 months has been a journey back to really good health for me. And my mental health, and my emotional health, my spiritual health, my environmental health, and my physical health. I'm really happy and grateful for that. Happy and grateful and appreciate emotions that I can express them and I can feel them deeply, and I can miss my brother so deeply, but it not consume me. And I love that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the loving environment that I'm in. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the relationships, that I'm forging as I manifest my husband and getting to speak to different people on the way to that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that. I've just found a bunch of my cards. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spiritual freedom. Saturday. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the energy of the universe to give us sign. I'm happy and grateful give me signs. Happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. Getting a chunk of money back that I didn't, that's been like months. I didn't think that I'd get back. It's coming. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that. That's it for that one. The Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. I say that this journal, the Soul Legacy Journal, the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. It's I call it a spiritual 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. A co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So the idea of the soul income game in the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge is to do this vibrationally first as a spiritual entrepreneur, as a light worker, to be in alignment with the spiritual energy of money. And so we spend £1,000. It gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day to spend as you want to. All your bills are paid, all your taxes are paid, your savings are done. You tithe 10% to a worthy cause. I tithe to Cruise Bereavement Care, to Compassionate Friends, a charity for bereaved parents, because I am one. And a worthy cause that you can think of, and then, which is a spiritual act in itself, and then you spend the vibrational money voucher. You can spend it each day of the 7 Frequency podcast, whether you journal with me live or not. And then if you don't feel like you want to spend it on that day, you can carry it over, and throughout the week, if you see something, rather than a lack around your vision board and a lack around the experiences that you've got on your vision board, buy the thing, pay for the thing with the vibrational money. It's paid, it's done. And then watch the universe bring the miracles to match that alignment. Is such a beautiful process. How you feel about the money, how you feel about the experience, how you feel that it's already done, and you're happy and you're grateful and you appreciate it, will bring it into your life. That's how manifestation works, right? So doing that act, even though, and trusting, it's just really, I challenge you to do it. So if you don't want to do that every single day, I carry all of my money over, apart from tithing 10% every day, to Financial Freedom Sunday, and I will spend my vibrational money voucher tomorrow, and I will share with you what I spend it on. I love this game, and it is a game. It's just the money just comes, right? Like it just comes, like you set that intention. I'm not saying it comes without any action, but I'm just saying that it comes with that guidance and those nudges, and that's the next thing to do, and then that's the next thing to do. It's the next person to speak to. That's the next call to get on. That's how it works for me, my soul guidance, and doing it with ease, grace, and flow, so it's not forced. I love it. And again, they say the money's in the list. I'm like, well, I don't have a list. And I'm like, the money is in transformation for me, and I refuse to jump on the list building bandwagon. I'm like, no, show me another way. It's not in alignment with my values. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And so I will not build a list for the money's in the list. I will build a list, a call list, and have conversations for the money's in transformation, because I know that I can add that transformation, and I know that I can add that transformation to you because I'm doing it myself. I'm walking my own talk. Half of us, or probably the large majority of us, light workers and spiritual entrepreneurs, are behind closed doors in fear of failure, fear of success, fear of selling, not receiving the money, because we feel like a fraud, because we're not actually using our own gifts. We're not actually walking our own talk. We feel like a fraud and an imposter because we think that we need to be fake online, and we don't. And not even think that we need to be. We're being fake online. And it for me, it's got to stop. Like, I'm done with it. So once you've done the vibrational money voucher, come and do this with me, the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. I challenge you to commit to banking 50K in 50 days. I have a masterclass, which is called the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. You can take your soul path of least resistance from spiritual awakening to spiritual alchemy, and start and grow your own Spiritual Biz YouTube channel with a successful online spiritual business and a #1 best-selling book launches, which is what I've done and which is what I teach. And I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's that. We've done the book. We've done the vibrational money voucher. And I don't think I will be able to read this without putting my glasses on. But this is what I was reading today. I only read a little bit. So observing your thoughts. Observe your thoughts over the next 24-hour period. So this is in this book by Jordana 11 to give credit where it's due, right? It's called Make It Happen, Manifest the Life of Your Dreams. So this is exercise 1 in chapter 3, observing your thoughts. So observe your thoughts over a 24-hour period. Notice when your thoughts are unsubstantiated, untrue, and when they are true and can be proven without doubt. Question the thought you believe in to an absolute truth and determine whether they are or not. If you just think they are true based on your own perception and or what you think you're capable of, you can use a journal to keep track of the thoughts if you like. So that's why I do the Soul Legacy Journal. So she said this leads us to fuel that fruit. This leads us to the fuel that thoughts thrive on, emotions. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier. And the book came to me through whatever guidance that was a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, oh, this is like big. Our thoughts become supercharged when we feel somebody's talking about me. My ears are burning. Our thoughts become supercharged when we add feeling to them. We know this, right? But it's just so, like today, you know, it's 19 years since my son passed, since my brother passed. And it's like all those thoughts, that grief and all the things, it's at the lowest vibration. Yes, we have to feel it, but we can't stay there. I knew I couldn't stay there. I knew I had to move up the emotional scale. And because I'm at the level of freedom and love and joy and empowerment and appreciation and knowledge every single day, I notice when I dip, and I dip when there's a dip, it feels like it's really hard dip for me. And so those emotions, I know that I'm manifesting on that. So I won't stay there. I can choose. You can choose. So when we place emotion behind a thought, it brings it to life. It ignites the neurotransmitters in the brain and sends messages to our body's major system to kickstart the process of taking action from a simple thought to its manifestation. I love that. And it's just a reminder. I'm going to read some more before I go to bed, but it's just the reminder of, you know, be where you are, feel what you need to feel, and then move forward. Do you get what I mean? Because these things I can't change. You know, it's been 19 years. I can't change that. But I can change how I perceive it, and I can change how I react to it, and I can change how I'm going to experience life, and I can use it as fuel and motivation to launch, lead, and leave my soul legacy with ease, grace, and flow. I can choose to share my gifts and shine my light because I believe I'm born to serve, and I believe that you are born to serve. And so today, I want to honor and dedicate this YouTube podcast episode to my brother Mark. Bruv, I love you, and thank you for everything that you've ever done. All the experiences that we had as children and as adults, you know, I'm really super grateful. So that is it for this episode. Yeah, big love, and I shall see you on the next episode for the 7 Vibrations Frequency podcast. Again, share this out if you found it helpful. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, come to the monthly call for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. Come and connect, co-create and collaborate with like minds. We're rooting for your success. Take care.